How's it going, crypto community? This is Jade, back with the XRP news recap. Today being the 26th, obviously. It's been 2 days since our previous one, so the idea is, though, that we didn't really have a lot to recap yesterday, so I didn't feel the need to do the recap. So I figured, much like the last recap was of the weekend as well, we'll just do these as often as need be. So in this recap, the last few things that I've been able to get out for everybody is I've managed to do some exit strategies for people who have been asking for that. They seem to be pretty well received already. My first one's already, one of my top videos from yesterday. So obviously a lot of you were interested in that. So you'll probably enjoy these exit strategies 2.0 I set up, which helps also for people who are looking to actually scale in the space as opposed to just straight up taking profits out, right? And I think that a lot of you are going to enjoy that too, actually, because of some of the comments I received. Now, the next thing that I'm starting up is a new deep dive series where we're digging into the Paris FinTech talk, where Christine Lagarde, the CEO, I believe, of Cabbage, which is a financial, it's a next generation bank essentially. There's also the general director, the general director of the Swiss National Bank, and then also the chief officer of BBVA, which is one of the largest banks in the world. So, pretty illustrious, panel, and they're talking about digital assets. So obviously we're listening in. And if you've watched the series, you've already found out that I've tied everybody on the panel to Ripple as being either a partner or somebody who is actively working with Ripple or has been seen actively working with Ripple in the past. So awesome content there. I'm really enjoying being able to jump in and break down some of that because it's been sparking rather interesting inquiries. One of which being my new series that I'm doing, also called the Roadmap to Mass Adoption. And so the Roadmap to Mass Adoption is going to be a series where we look at what all countries are already on board with RippleNet based upon what we're able to find from the news that we have thus far, right? And it's a lot. It's a lot of the world already. And so we're going to go through that, and you're going to see just how much throughout this series. And as the series continues, I hope that, eventually it's going to be where, maybe once a week we'll do one of these where we'll go in and be like, okay, well, where did we get this week? Do we get anybody this week? And then we can go from there. But the series for now, I'm going to try and release at least one of these each day for everybody. So that's why the episode 2, essentially, is actually named properly right now, is going to be featured tomorrow after the one that you got earlier today. And as for the news that we've received, has not been a lot. That's why I'm starting these extra little off-brand, offbeat things. But what we have got is that Facebook LibreCoin is looking to implement a identity system for essentially to help onboard people in third world countries into this new ecosystem. Interesting stuff there. We also have Visa and their intention to tokenize everything. Definitely suggest checking that one out because the value that they could liquidate essentially through this kind of a venture could be unimaginable. It is unimaginable, rather. It's just an absurd amount of money to kind of try and wrap your head around how much could actually become available to us if they actually tokenized everything, right? So you could borrow against everything, because then you could borrow against a glass that you have, right? The other thing is the first Bitcoin ETF being approved by the CFTC, and this was for Ledger X's physical futures custody. This is huge. We also got backed, self-certifying themselves before this one. So both seem to appear to have intentions of launching their projects in July. So we'll see who gets out the gate first. Going to be really interesting to see what that does to the overall market. Should be really good for Bitcoin, if nothing else, though. Which is good for everybody at the end of the day. You know, that's how it works. When one of them does well, the AI trade everything off into the altcoins, because until the AI cash or depleted of Bitcoin and all other digital assets are on their own utility course, that's just how it's going to play out. So, back on point here, also to the point of the recent prices that we've seen in the markets, there is a correlation between the decrease in the Fed's interest rates and the increase in value of digital assets as of late, which you can find out all about by going and watching the crypto bull run and fiat inflation. That was actually a really interesting article read that is really kind of exciting in regards to how close it's suggesting we are to that point where the system has no option but to come on in, as Brad Kimes likes to say, right? To come on in, because it's all safe in here now. You know, the financial institutions that are trying to sell it to you now, they say it's all good, so don't worry, they'll be in soon. They'll be in before the people that they're bringing in. You can be sure of that, right? So, I hope you've enjoyed this content. As always, if you have, be sure hit that subscribe, ring that bell so that you can be up to date with all my newest content. Also, be sure to hit that like so that anybody out there just becoming familiar with cryptocurrency can have an idea of just the amount of the sheer vastness of information that's coming out just about this one specific cryptocurrency, XRP, and how much there is to know and understand if somebody's going to become involved in this space, right? This is why I always say to everybody that watches, please, I am not a financial expert. Do your own research, make your own financial choices. All that I can do at most is help offer you what insights I've gleaned, and with hopes that you will take that and add to it with the insights that you gleaned from other people and use that to develop your rationale at most. If nothing else, take what you see from mine that you feel is wrong, learn from that, and go with that, right? As always, I've been Jade. You've been watching The Martian Report, and I can't wait to see all of you, my XRP Martians, in my next video on Mars.